The president of Colombia, Peru, Chile, and Mexico are meeting in Cali, Colombia. They're forging ahead with the four-nation trade bloc called the Pacific Alliance. Colombia's President Juan Manuel Santos sat down with our correspondent Michelle Begay. He spoke about his vision for the alliance and the future of trade with Asia.
Mr. President Juan Manuel Santos of Colombia, thank you for being with us, CCTV.
My pleasure.
I wanted to first off start with the finance minister of Chile mentioned that the Pacific Alliance is the biggest thing and most exciting thing to come to Latin America right now. Why is that?
Well, I think it's the most important integration process that Latin America has had in its history. And it's four economies that are doing very well. Our rates of growth are the highest of all the region. We have similar views and visions of how the economy should work. We share principles, not only economic but political principles, and we have economies that can create a lot of synergy. And if we add, for example, the consumers of the four countries, we are bigger than Brazil, 210 million, with a higher GDP per capita and with a higher rate of growth. So Latin America is growing above the world average, and we are growing above the Latin American average. So that makes us very attractive. And what we want is to continue with this dynamic growth and to project ourselves to the world, to Asia Pacific, to China, to Japan, to Korea, because we share among the common denominators, we share our coast in the Pacific Ocean.
So the Pacific Alliance is going to completely bring down tariffs in the years to come between the member states. Do you feel that Colombia is ready to compete? We've heard that Colombia's infrastructure sometimes is not where it should be for Colombia to benefit from these types of trades. So is Colombia ready to compete?
I think we are ready to compete. We're doing huge investments in infrastructure. We're connecting the whole country with fiber optic and wideband. We're bringing technology to even the most remote areas. We're doing a lot of efforts in order precisely to bridge that gap that we have in our competitive position.
Mr. President, The Economist called the Pacific Alliance a brilliant piece of diplomatic marketing, but it added, and I quote, "Now it has to add substance." What is that substance?
Well, the substance is to deliver on our economic performance, which we are doing, to take concrete actions in order to really integrate ourselves, which we are doing, and to project ourselves to the rest of the world as a group, which we're also doing.
You were one of the founding fathers, we could say, of the Pacific Alliance as it started in 2011. What do you hope for the Pacific Alliance down the road 15 years from now?
That we can say that this integration process really was a success, and that all our indicators, and in the long run, this has to translate into social progress for the people. People must feel that this has been good for the countries and for themselves. And in Colombia, for example, the Pacific region is one of the most underdeveloped regions. And I'm sure that with this alliance, this part of our country, which has tremendous potential, will jumpstart and see tremendous progress. That's what I would like to see in some years.
Lastly, you were just in China last year and through a trip through Asia, and you did mention that you wanted Asia to consider Colombia as the perfect country for investments. What does Colombia have to offer other than commodities?
Well, first, we have human capital, as we think, we consider ourselves very good human capital, but not only we, all the foreign investors that come to Colombia think that the human capital in Colombia is very good. But we have probably the most stable economy in the region for many, many decades. We have ideal geographic location. We're in the middle of the Americas. We have free trade agreements with many countries in the world. So I think for any foreign investor, Colombia is very attractive, and also we are probably one of the countries that respects more the rules of the game, the rule of law, stability, legal stability, and that is very, very important for any foreign investor.